So I think it's safe to assume now that Microsoft will close the acquisition of Activision Blizzard King very soon. So the question now is, when are we going to see Call of Duty games on Game Pass? Let's look into this. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So I think we can say it. Microsoft is buying Activision Blizzard King very soon. So European Union did accept the deal. Now federal court did deny the preliminary injunction, which means that Microsoft can close this deal in US. So now it's only CMA. Now Microsoft is working out some extra details with CMA. Looks like CMA did change their mind. So hopefully some extra concessions that Microsoft did agree to will sway their mind, will change their minds, right? So the real question is, when is that case, when is that deal going to close? Like there's some rumors that it's probably going to be tomorrow, but maybe still Microsoft may wait until CMA will make its final decision, which may be anywhere between now and, August 29th, right? But looks like CMA did say that they will most likely make that final decision, final call way before that date, right? So it may be, early August for all I care, right? Either way, when that deal closes, Microsoft will be able to put a lot of these games, maybe even all of them, probably not all of them, but a lot of Activision Blizzard games on Game Pass. King games, probably not, because these are mobile games, unless Microsoft is planning some sort of mobile Game Pass. I've heard some rumors about that, so that would be interesting. But let's focus on Xbox and PC Game Pass. So Activision Blizzard games going to be available on Game Pass for sure. Not necessarily like straight away, because it will take some time to re-register and like merge, the Battle.net and Game Pass and whatever. That's probably, it's more like a technical issue, but I'm sure that they are working on that already. Either way, shortly after the deal closes, Microsoft will add these games to Game Pass, but there's a little bit of a complicated thing with Call of Duty. So some Call of Duty games will be on Game Pass, but not all of them, not the latest ones, right? Because Activision has got this marketing deal with PlayStation, or should I really say PlayStation has marketing rights for Call of Duty basically. So whenever you see Call of Duty advert on TV or in newspapers, you will see PlayStation logo to it. On top of that, they've got rights to some extra DLCs and whatever, right? So they paid for that, so Microsoft will probably honor that contract. So the real question is, when will that contract expire? And there's been a ton of speculation about it. Some people were saying that next year, while others 2025. And according to this information, and again, Tom Warren with some cool stuff. This is his tweet from a couple of days ago, really, and where he's discussing when that deal with PlayStation may expire. So he's saying, if you are wondering when new Call of Duty games arrive on Game Pass, if the Activision Blizzard deal goes ahead, the CMA previously revealed it's not until 2025. So this is the screenshot. I think you see it. You should see it. Yeah. It says, on this basis, we would expect that the benefits would start to occur within a reasonable period, although there would in practice likely be some delay between competition and the merger, completion of the merger and Call of Duty arriving on Game Pass in 2025. We therefore find that at least some benefits from the claimed Game Pass RCB may be expected to occur within a reasonable period, such that the condition in section blah blah blah, whatever, right? It's just a law talk. So they are basically saying that Call of Duty would arrive in Game Pass in 2025. Now, they don't necessarily specify whether that would be late 2025 or early 2025. We don't know. But I mean, they suggest 2025 as in beginning, because I guess they would say late 2025 otherwise. So that started speculation that this year's Call of Duty and next year's Call of Duty would be still PlayStation, not owned, but PlayStation would own the Call of Duty marketing deal. But I don't think that makes sense for two reasons. First off, well, when PlayStation buys marketing right for a game, it's not only for that particular year, right? Because see, when Call of Duty, new Call of Duty will arrive this year, probably November, PlayStation will have marketing right for this game, not only for this year, even though this is this year's game, right? So they will have marketing rights for this particular game this year in 2023, but also in 2024 until the next Call of Duty game will appear, right? So they will have marketing right for Call of Duty 2023 this year and throughout most of next year, right? So they don't necessarily have to have rights for Call of Duty 2024, so next year's Call of Duty installment, because they would have to have marketing rights for late 2024 and most of the 2025, where they basically say that in 2025 these games would arrive already. And there's another interesting tweet over here, and that's by Charlie Intel. That obviously that's courtesy of CMA, I think, again. And he says that was basically a day later after that Tom Warren tweet. He says this: Microsoft says Activision's Bobby Kotick offered to extend Sony's Call of Duty co-marketing agreement beyond 2024. This is very important, beyond 2024, to appease Sony's request on Call of Duty, but says Jim Ryan refused the offer and said that he would rather have regulators just block the Microsoft deal instead, right? And obviously there's this screenshot of that document, right? Sony also refuses to extend its Call of Duty co-marketing agreement with Activision, which is set to expire in 2024. This is very telling, and people ignore it, but I'll tell you what that actually means. Activision CEO Bobby Kotick has attempted to discuss an extension of that agreement with leadership at Sony, namely Sony CEO Kenshiro Yoshida and PlayStation CEO Jim Ryan. However, Mr. Ryan refused the offer, saying he hoped that the regulators would do their job and block the deal. So, what the hell does it actually mean? Because now over here we see that Microsoft will be able to add Call of Duty games in Game Pass in 2025, suggesting that 2024 Call of Duty will be still PlayStation will have rights for marketing, right? But that doesn't look to be the case, because basically what this says is that PlayStation has got marketing rights for Call of Duty franchise overall until 2024, not in 2025, right? Because he's saying that they were offered the extension for the co-marketing agreement beyond 2024, but that was rejected by Jim Ryan. So PlayStation has got no Call of Duty rights in 2025, meaning that it would make no sense for PlayStation to pay for next year's Call of Duty to have rights for it only for like a month, literally a month, right? Because usually when you, like I said, like this year's Call of Duty, for example, PlayStation will have marketing rights, and you will see PlayStation logo next to Call of Duty logo throughout this and next year for the next Call of Duty game. I mean, for the 2023 Call of Duty game. So it makes no sense for Sony to pay for that game marketing for that game, and then, early 2025, hey, you don't have rights to it, right? So looks like the 2024 Call of Duty game is actually PlayStation marketing free, right? And PlayStation will have marketing rights only, until like November, right? For the 2023 Call of Duty, right? So it may be that Call of Duty 2024 may be a day one Game Pass game. I mean, worst case scenario, early 2025, right? But it makes sense in my opinion, because from business perspective, it makes no sense for Sony to sign a deal, marketing deal just for a month. I don't think that, and that has never happened, right? Like even any PlayStation, any Xbox marketed game, you see these, marketing rights all the time, because it has all to do with DLCs and that kind of stuff, especially DLCs, because PlayStation, these marketing rights, they are not only for for ads, but they also for extra content, DLC and that kind of stuff. DLC won't see the light of day until 2025, right? So in my opinion, I'm not saying that I'm 100% right, because like I said, we don't have exact date when there's a cut-off point for that deal in 2024. Is it early November, before the new Call of Duty arrives, or is it end of 2024? We don't know. But in my opinion, we are looking at a situation where PlayStation has got marketing rights until like early November for everything Call of Duty 2023 right? And anything Call of Duty 2024 that goes to Microsoft and Xbox. That's just my opinion. Last thing on Call of Duty, we're talking only about new games. So some, I'm not sure if all, but some Call of Duty games will arrive probably even this year. Older titles like Xbox 360 titles, early, probably next gen titles too. Last gen titles too, even though they had marketing rights with PlayStation, but these I guess expired. I'm not sure about the latest ones, so like this year and previous year. I don't know, there's probably going to be some sort of expiry date and stuff, so I don't expect all Call of Duty games to be in Game Pass day one. Last 2 or 3 probably won't be there, not until like 2025, but most of the older ones probably going to be in Game Pass like shortly after launch. Then obviously the upcoming Call of Duty games will be still marketed by PlayStation. The new one that's coming this year, and the 2024 Call of Duty will probably be Game Pass day one or shortly after, because it's going to be a Xbox game and Xbox marketed game. I believe day one, but if I'm wrong, worst case scenario, in 2025 we will see these games anyway, so it's not really long of a wait anymore. Anyway, so guys, that's the video. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know what you think about it. Obviously, I don't have all the information. This is what I found on the Call of Duty thing, because I've seen a lot of people talking about it, arguing about it, and I've actually had some a debate, let's just call it, recently in the chat about that situation, and some people believe that it's going to be that the next 2 Call of Duty games going to be with PlayStation still, and the 2025 Call of Duty will be an Xbox game. But I don't think that's the case. Like, going off by this, the Charlie Intel and that information, it's looking like the 2024 Call of Duty, so next year's Call of Duty game will be with PlayStation, will be marketed by PlayStation, and will be day one in Game Pass. But that's just my educated guess, I guess, right? Going off of this information, and yeah, but that's just my opinion, right? We will actually find out about it, probably pretty soon. So anyway, guys, that's the video. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know in the comment section below what you think about it. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and I will see you all in the next one. Take care.